Hi guys, in this video we're going to have a look at how we draw a pie chart from a table. So the first thing that we're going to do in this one here is we've been given the frequency of all the different eye colours. So 7 people have blue eyes, 10 people have brown, and so on and so forth. So the first thing you need to do is work out how many people there were in total. So if I add all these up, it comes out as 36. Now when you're drawing a pie chart, the angle around a point, so there's my point, or the angle in a circle would always add up to 360 degrees. Okay, so what we need to do is find out what angle one person is worth. So to do that, I need to go from 36 to 1. So what do I divide 36 by to get to 1? Well, you always divide by itself, so I divide by 36. 36 divided by 36 gets me 1. So I do the same thing here. 360 divided by 36, which is going to give us 10. So one person is equal to 10 degrees. So because I know that, I can then work out the angle for each of these. So I've got 7 people, so I just do 7 times 10. 10 people, obviously times by 10. 5 people times by 10. Times by 10, times by 10, because one person equals 10 degrees. So you can work out all the angles. So for blue, it'll be 70 degrees, brown, 100 degrees, green, 50, white would be 80, and then red would be 60 degrees. Okay, so once you've worked out the angles, we can then start to plot them on our pie chart. Now, usually they'll give you the actual circle like I've got here. I don't think I've ever seen it where they've actually asked you to draw it, so you should be quite happy happy that you don't have to draw the circle. So what I would do first is, if you've got a point here, from the point I would draw a line going across like that, because when you get your protractor, okay, you can line it straight up with that and it's flat towards you. Okay, so a couple of things here. I'll call it the crosshair if you like. The crosshair needs to go at the center, and then this line here needs to be in line with the line that you just drew. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do first. So there we go, lined it up. Okay, now you've got 2 choices. You can go on the inside or the outside. Well, I'm going to be going around here, so I need to start at 0. So the inside starts at 0, the outside starts at 180. So I'm going to ignore the outside and concentrate on the inside. Now for blue, it's 70. So 0, 10, 20, all the way around to 70. And then just put a little mark on the outside like so. You can then get a ruler, or to be fair, just use your protractor. Line it up from the center and draw it. There we go. And this angle here will be 70, and it represents the blue, so I'd always write that on. Now what some people do is they try and work their way around it by doing it like that. That's absolutely fine. However, it comes a bit tricky, or you might make a mistake. So what I do is I rotate it round until this is then in the same spot as it was before, so basically parallel with myself. The next angle is 100, so again I put my protractor on there, center, line it up. Again, I'm using the inside because it starts at 0. I'm going all the way around the inside till 100, which is there. Again, I put a little point, line up the center to there, and then that's going to be brown. Okay, keep rotating it round. The next angle is 50, so keep rotating it round until again it's now level with me. Also parallel with me, I should say. And again, 0, and I was doing an angle of 50, so put a little mark. Line it up. And that was, which one was that? That was green. Next one, white, is 80. So let's rotate it round again. So the next one here is 80. So again, where your point is at the center, 0 all the way around to 80, which is there. Line it up. So that one was 80, which was white. So let's put that in, white. And the last one here should be 60 degrees, so you can check it. And as you can see, 60 degrees. Obviously, with a fine pencil, you probably can be a little bit more accurate than it'd be me with a felt tip pen. But as you can see, that's 60 there, and that was red. Okay, so that's how you draw a pie chart, guys. So let's have a go at this one here. So again, the same steps. You've got the frequency. First thing to do is add them up to get the total, which in this case is 20. And as always, the angle in a pie chart, or angles in a pie chart, will always add up to 360. I should say, guys, that's another check that you can do. 70 plus 100 plus 50 plus 80 plus 60, add them all up, it should equal 360. If they don't, you've made a mistake somewhere, so you can use that as a check as well. Anyway, back to this one. Again, I want to know what one person is worth. So how do I go from 20 to 1? Well, 20 divided by 20, so divided by itself, will give me 1. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to divide by 20. 360 divided by 20 will give me 18. Okay, so one person is worth 18 degrees. So I'm going to times all of these by 18. So 7 18s, 126, 5 18s, 90, 4 18s, so 72 and 72. And again, add them all up to check they equal 360. I've already done that earlier, so yeah, we're in business. Exactly the same thing. From the centre, draw your line across, get your protractor, set up the centre there, where the crosshair is, line it up, and again I'm going to be using the inside because the inside starts at 0 and the first angle is 126. What some people do is by accident they'll read the outside. So if you read the outside, it'll be 126, which is there, which will be an acute angle. So that's your clue that it's wrong, because 126 is clearly an obtuse. So make sure you are just using a little bit of common sense when doing this. Does it look right? But as we said, using the inside to get 126, which is there. So lining it up. And that was English for the subject. Okay, so again, I'm going to turn my pie chart round, and we've got 90 degrees for mass. So turn it around so it's horizontal. Point on the circle, line up there, again inside. So 0 all the way to 90. And line it up. And that one, what did we say that was? That was PE. Next one is maths at 72. So again, I'm going to turn it round so it's level with me. At the centre, line it up with the line there. So going around, again on the inside, 72 would be there. So I draw it on. And R is also 72, so I'll just check it while I'm here, as they're both the same. So again, as you can see, there's the 70s, so 72. So yep, absolutely spot on. And so do this in pencil in the exam, just in case you make a mistake. So if you use pen and you do make a mistake, it then becomes very messy when you cross it out. So make sure you're using a pencil. Okay, and there's that one. Last one I'm going to do is just when these numbers aren't very nice. So just bear with me a second. Which we have this one here. The process is still exactly the same, guys. Okay, we still add up the frequency to get the total. So if you add all these up, you get 144. And again, as always, around the circle, around the point, angles are 360. Okay, and again, I want to find out what one person is worth. So I'm going to divide by itself. So divide by 144. And I'm going to divide by 144 here. Now, if it's a calculator, obviously nice and easy. If it's not, put it as a fraction, so 360 over 144, simplify it and see what you're left with. If you do that, you're left with 5 over 2, which is 2.5. Or again, if you have a calculator, you can just do that. Okay, this will probably be in a calculator, but if they're trying to be extra mean, they might do it as a non-calc, which is, as I said, put it as a fraction and then simplify it. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to times all of these by 2.5. Or if you left it as a fraction, 5 over 2, you could times them all by 5 over 2, it's not a problem. in which case we have 115 for the first one, 40 for the next one, 55, 65, and 85. And again, add those all up, check they equal to 360, and they do because I've done it earlier. And the next stage is exactly the same as before. So from the center, go across, get your protractor, line it up. So cross at the center, this line lined up with the line we just drew. Again, I'm using the inside because it starts at 0. And I want 115 for plain crisps. So all the way around, 115 is there. And that's for plain crisps. Next one is 40 degrees. So I'm going to turn my pie chart round and draw on 40 degrees. So again, lining up at the center, lining that up there. Inside, because it starts at 0. There's 40 degrees. So that's 40 degrees, which was the flavour of chicken. Next one is 55. So again, turn it round so it's parallel to you. Get your protractor, line it up. So it was 55. So 0 all the way around to 55, which is there. Lining it up. And that was salt and vinegar. Next angle is 65. So turn it round so it's parallel with you. Line it up exactly the same way. All around to 65. So there's 60, so 65 is there. So that one was cheese and onion. And finally, barbecue flavour, it's 85 degrees. Let's just measure that and double check. Looks about right, but let's just double check. And yes, 85. So yeah, absolutely spotty dog. And that was barbecue. Okay guys, so hopefully that helps you with how you draw pie charts. So always work out the total frequency. Obviously we know the angles are going to be 360, so find out what one person is worth by dividing, and then you can just times each one to work out the angles. Don't forget to check that all those add up to 360, otherwise when you start to draw it, obviously you'll come unstuck. Okay, hopefully that helps guys. Cheers.